Hello everyone and welcome to the AWS Databases video series. My name is Priyanka Sangvi and I am a Database Specialist Solutions Architect here at AWS from the Seattle, Washington office. Today, I'm going to show you of how to analyze Postgres log data by using CloudWatch Log Insights. CloudWatch Log Insights enables you to interactively search and analyze your log data in Amazon CloudWatch Logs with the potential to identify the causes and validate the deployed fixes. Today, we will cover three things. Firstly, I will start with a quick introduction to CloudWatch Log, followed by the CloudWatch Log Insights, as well as explain some of the features that it provides. Thereafter, we will shift gears and go to the AWS console for a short demonstration on how to set up and configure CloudWatch Log Insights for the analysis of RDS Postgres logs. And finally, I will wrap it up with the real-life use case scenarios of the same. Alright, so let's dive right in. Amazon CloudWatch provides a set of observability tools, one of which is CloudWatch Logs, which offers extensive capabilities for ingesting, managing, and analyzing the log data. You can centralize the logs from any system, application, and AWS service, which you use by using CloudWatch Logs into a single, highly scalable service. With CloudWatch Logs, you can view all your logs as a single unified flow of events that are ordered by time, regardless of where they are coming from. You can also query and sort your logs based on other criteria, group them according to particular fields, build custom computations using a flexible query language, as well as display the log data in dashboards. One of the key capabilities provided by Amazon CloudWatch Logs is analyzing the log data using CloudWatch Log Insights. You can use CloudWatch Log Insights to interactively search and analyze your log data. You can perform queries to help you more effectively and efficiently respond to the operational issues. A few straightforward but effective commands are included in the purpose-built query language of CloudWatch Log Insights. To assist you in getting started, we offer sample queries, command explanations, query auto-completion, and log field discovery. There are sample queries provided by several AWS service log formats. With that explained, let's shift gears and go to the AWS Management Console to look at a small demonstration of the same. This is AWS Management Console. It is a graphical user interface that allows users to access and manage any of the resources or service which is running on the AWS infrastructure. Here, I shall show you of how to use CloudWatch Log Insights. To get started, let's navigate to CloudWatch. Before we get started, there is something that I would like to highlight here, is that many AWS services sends logs to CloudWatch. For this particular demonstration, we shall just focus on RDS Postgres logs. In CloudWatch, under the log section, we have log groups and log insights. A log group is a group of log stream that shares the same retention, monitoring, and access control settings. A log stream is a sequence of log events that shares the same source. CloudWatch Log Insights allows you to quickly search and analyze your log insights using simple but powerful queries. Next, let's go to the surface of CloudWatch Log Insights to see how it functions. Alright, so this is how the CloudWatch Log Insights dashboard would look. To get started, go ahead and select the log group that you will work with. In this case, it is going to be RDSPG logs that we shall be looking at. And so you can select that from the drop down here. So here I will select RDSPG labs, which is an instance that I have already pre-configured in advance. Apart from that, this place right here is the place where you can insert your query, right? So we shall run different queries that will illustrate the power and simplicity of this tool as we go forward. For now, I will just go ahead and use this default query and click on run. Once I do, you can see a simple visualization of the RDSDB instance data from the last hour, along with the timestamp and message of the last 20 messages that you have logged. So the limit here was 20, and that's why you can just see the 20 messages right here. Apart from that, you can go ahead and change the time for displaying the logs by clicking here on the absolute and relative time if you want. So there is absolute and relative right here, right? So you have like the options to choose from and click on apply. Right now, I'm not going to do that. On the right side, we have three major tabs: fields, query and query help. Assume that you have the ability to get data based on specific log fields, as we did in the sample query. 4 system fields are automatically generated by CloudWatch Log Insights for each log which is uploaded to Amazon CloudWatch Logs. They are ingestion time, log stream, message, and timestamp. Going forward, you can query your log groups in CloudWatch Log Insights by using a query language. The query syntax allows a variety of operations and functions, including regular expressions, arithmetic and comparison operations, as well as generic functions, amongst others. We also have a set of sample queries that one can leverage for various categories of logging. Moreover, query help essentially helps you to learn more regarding the syntax used to write the queries. For example, you can retrieve the data based on specific log fields, as we did in the sample query that we ran. You can also filter the fields based on certain comparative or Boolean conditions as well as regular expressions. You can calculate the aggregate statistics such as sums, average, minimum, maximum. You can also sort your results of the query in the ascending or the descending order as per your use case. Moreover, you can also limit the log events like how we did in the sample query. And lastly, you can parse the data from a log field to create one or more ephemeral fields that can process further in the query. Also, to learn more, you can refer to these CloudWatch Log Insights documents which are given here. That explained, now I shall go ahead and show you an example of how we can use this tool for a real-life use case scenario, let's say for Postgres users. There are a number of events that an RDS Postgres administration or security team should keep an eye on and be notified about whenever that happens. For example, you can monitor DDL operations such as update in a production database using CloudWatch Log Insights. And if these events occur in the log, you can also set up an alarm on top of that. Similarly, security teams also may want to monitor the failed logins and be notified about it. Before we go ahead and look at that example, let's see how you can enable query logging. To do that, you simply have to navigate to your RDS console and access your database instance. Once you do, go ahead and select the database instance and then go to the configuration pane. Here you can see that it is already associated with a default parameter group, but you cannot modify the default parameter group. Hence, we shall go ahead and create a custom parameter group. So for that, you can go to the parameter group and create a new parameter. As mentioned before, you have to create a custom parameter group. Here I have already created that. You can go ahead and create your own by selecting the create parameter group option right here and filling the necessary information. So now I will click on the custom parameter group which I have pre-configured and go ahead and look for the logmin duration statement parameter in the search box. Once you do, go ahead and click on the parameter which is logmin duration statement and then edit it so as to change the value to 500 milliseconds so that it logs all the queries that takes longer than half of a second to be completed. Next, go ahead and search for the log statement parameter here. So once you search the log statement, firstly, it controls the type of SQL statements that are being logged. So here there are several options that you can pick and choose from. All will log all the types of SQL statements unless logmin duration statement is disabled. DDL will log all the DDL statements like create, alter, drop, and truncate. Mod will log all the DDL and DML statements like insert, update, and delete. And none would not log any of it. So I shall go ahead and select mod for now and then save the changes. Once completed, you can go ahead and modify the database instance and replace it with the custom parameter group that we just created. So once you are done with the modification procedure and replace the default parameter group with the custom parameter group, here is how you'll be able to see it. So you'll see like a pending reboot next to the custom parameter group in your configuration pane. Go ahead and reboot your instance to apply the changes. And once you do that, you will have enabled your query logging. As soon as you reboot your database instance, you will see that the custom parameter group that we created for RDS instance is now in sync and you successfully enabled query logging. Now that you have already enabled query logging, let's look at a simple example where we will search for update events and see if any such operations occurred in the production environment. For that, we shall select the log group from the drop down. So it's going to be RDS PG Labs again. And then we shall modify the sample query right here and write a query which will return a list of log records by filtering the updates that have taken place in the database instance in last 1 hour. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And then once the two of them is done, then you can go ahead and run the query. All right. So as you can see here, the query results shows the records of the logs that have update statement as a part of their message, and they are being sorted in the ascending order, right, based on the query that we ran. And you can also change it to descending order if you change the timestamp to descending, right. Another important call out here is that the query result shows the records in your logs that matches the query command, which is that of timestamp, message, ingestion time, and log stream. Also, here there are 5 different fields which you can use to filter your logs based on your needs, which are log, log stream, message, timestamp, and ingestion time. Hence, if you see here, we shall get these logs which have the update message in them, and on clicking each of them, you'll be able to see the value of these fields. So if let's say you click the first timestamp, then you'll be able to see the 5 values, and so on for different other 20 different values. Moreover, you can also easily visualize the data in different ways by using this visualization tab right here. In this tab, you can pick and choose different graphs based on your use case scenario and maybe make use of that for the representation. So here we have line graph, stacked area, bar graph, and pie chart. So this brings us to the end of our demonstration. Now we'll go back to the presentation deck where I will explain you the real life use case scenarios of CloudWatch Log Insights and wrap it up with that. The most important use cases of CloudWatch Log Insights are: first, search for DDL operations. By analyzing and filtering the incoming logs based on certain inquiry, you may use CloudWatch Log Insights to search any particular DDL statements like insert, update, or delete. It can also be used to create an alarm. Using CloudWatch Alarm, one can create alarms for specific metrics that they want to get alerted for via notifications when matrix falls out of threshold. So for example, you can create a metric on, let's say, update, and if it occurs, then the alarm will trigger and you shall get notified about it. There is also integrated monitoring that is one of the most important use case. This feature offers monitoring via Amazon CloudWatch out of box. Thus, there is no need for any integrated monitoring with any additional tools. You can monitor your RDS instances and other databases in one console, or your other AWS resources logs in a unified view, so you can analyze the logs from various services. Last but not the least, you can also use CloudWatch Log Insights to identify the failed login attempts. So CloudWatch identifies the process for locating unsuccessful login attempts inside the AWS ecosystem. Today, we only performed a very basic search of DDL statement update, but instead what you could have actually done is construct a metric filter, expose this alert, and then create an alert out of this metric filter to receive the notifications whenever an update occurs. Since we only started with a very basic question today, we haven't shown you this, but maybe it gives you a sense of possibility. This brings us to the end of our session. For more information on CloudWatch Logs, you can look at the link given below. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.